Howdy folks, welcome back to Out of Ore. We're going to try to get some power today. I've done a little more digging and you can see we got 35 grand. Down here at Glenmore, I did some poking around. I think this is the cheapest place to buy a solar panel. So let's take a look here. Factory power. We could get a coal plant. I go back and forth. That has a lot of power. This is only 300. Oh, wow, they changed all the prices. Well, crap. There's been like 3 or 4 hot fixes since I played. That was like 23,000. So I guess we're gonna have to go look around. I don't know if all the prices went up. This is beta, so things are gonna change. I specifically parked there so I could start this episode by buying a solar panel for like 23 grand, but looks like they are super pricey now. So let's run up here. Whoa! I wish you could shop around on your tablet. I don't think these, yeah, they sell, oh, that used to be a 155. So yeah, all the prices have been changed. So that's awesome. We could go look at Iron Johnson equipment. Dang. Quit bragging. Wait, how do I get there from here? We can go down this way. All right. So we'll see. I had some comments. It sounds like the loaders and stuff have changed. I have not played with the loader or any equipment besides the pickup truck since all the changes were made. I do have company money. I could have just brought in, a few million and got started, but I kind of did that the last couple series, so I wanted to get back to my roots in hardcore. Let's check here. Iron Johnson. They only have vehicles. Okay. So 58,000. 58,000. All right. Well, it might not hurt. Take a screenshot. We also have mineral rights. I think these guys, you can just dump stuff there. Tell you what, I could totally cheese this. If I could remember how to SOS. Rescue me, there it is. Ta-da! We're going to change all the prices on me. I'm going to cheese it a little bit. All right, open store. No, all they sell is stuff. Logs are 18 bucks. I bought a few just from the general purpose store. Try log with no, 18 bucks. 18 bucks. All right, those seem pretty standard. Okay, well, since we do have coal on site, I'm thinking I will go with coal power. So let's go back over to this. I got to remember how to play. So let's go get a coal power plant. I think I have just enough. I could also sell this truck. I don't necessarily need the truck. It just saves a whole lot of running. Wait, that's Bethlehem Steel. I went right past the road. Saves a lot of running around having to pick up truck. I don't really know the map yet. I played once and I recorded the first episode. It's been a really busy work week. Recording this on a late Friday night after a long week of work. Because I'm going to be out of town all weekend, so trying to get this recorded so you guys can see it on Tuesday if you're watching it in real time. Now I'm tired. So my brain's not percolating 100%. Alright, we go to power. Yeah, that went way up. They're trying to make it, I think, more the same as this guy. So let's do that. Doink. Got my power cable, I've got my input. Don't have quite enough for the trommel. Which is going to be kind of key. Yeah, 22. So we need to make a little money to get the trommel. That'll help us sort things out. We'll see what we can get going with just the bare essentials here. It's a little bit slow going, starting by hand. I can't wait till we get better sounds. Some of the equipment doesn't sound too bad. The truck is kind of atrocious. And more than a little obnoxious. So I'm going to buzz back up the hill. Keep our momentum. If you stop here, like let me stop. If you stop here, you're going 5 miles an hour up this hill. The physics still needs so much work. I don't know that they've redone the truck. I know they've been working on some of the other equipment. This is pretty pathetic. Come on, truck. You can do it. At this point, it'd be faster to hop out and run. So don't slow down on the hill. Lesson learned. Turn you off. Noisy thing. Now I was watching Quad Thumb Gaming play, and he had coal right here. Is there coal behind here? He had a big old lump of coal right here. He was digging into. Oh, sure enough. There we go. Recon by YouTube. Yeah, I was watching Quad Thumb Gaming. If you haven't seen Quad Thumb Gaming, go check him out. That's his channel name, Quad Thumb Gaming. All right, what am I doing? We had the old smelter-rooney that I was using. That worked out fine. We're going to need the coal plant. Can I use the hill to my advantage here? Oh yeah, I was making a bunch more of these. Did they get made? All right, cool. So we got 38 of these things now. I like setting things on blocks. And I think we'll build on the grid. Just it makes things easier if you want to connect later on. You're not exactly lined up. It makes things a little bit easier. So let's do that, and then let's get our inventory set up. We don't need that. That up here. We're gonna need our hooper. We're gonna need some power. We're gonna need a sluice box. We're gonna need our power cable as well. So we are eventually going to want to dump into this thing with a loader. If I remember correctly, the power goes on this side. Indeed. Look at that precision work. I just happened to get lucky. So that'll let us dump. Now we need a trommel, but I don't have a trommel right now. So I think we can just slap the sluice box on there. Ooh, it's low down, isn't it? I mean, this is cheesy, but we're gonna have to be a little cheesy at the beginning, I think. All right, so now if I put my pay dirt in there, I hook up my coal plant. Where is the power output? There it is. It's up top. Then it has water input there. So let's do that. I'll keep it in tab for inventory. There we go. I have a whopping 5 coal. I don't know how that works. What just pulls out of there? Okay. Yeah, that's burning through that. Yay! Do stuff. Consume. No? Uh-oh. What am I doing wrong? I got a green light. Oh, that's backwards. It's snapped on there, but it's backwards. Ew. Well, that changes things. No, it's not backwards. It says it goes that way. Why did it look like the conveyor belt was going backwards? Because it was. It snapped on there backwards. Okay. Fair enough. All right, we have consumed. So turn that on. I still wish you could turn everything on with one go. Turn that on. Hey, it's moving the stuff with the things. We're getting things out of the pay dirt. Excellent. I like getting things out of the pay dirt. There we go. Okay, let's turn this off. We have successfully ran some pay dirt. So now I need to make some money, and we need to get a what's it called? Sluice box. It's in the workbenches. No, what's it called? Is it the wash plant? We go here. We say buildings, workbenches, small wash plant. $9 grand from the company store. It may be cheaper elsewhere, but we know we need around, 8 or 9 grand. So we're gonna have to get some more money. We're also gonna have to get some coal. I assume this here is dirt. Pop that up there so we can. Yeah, okay. So if it doesn't show on my hotbar, it's dirt. That's handy. We got coal right here for power. That's one of the things that made me change my mind about the solar panel. And then when they raised the price, 10 or 12 grand, that kind of sealed the deal. I wanted to get started with the low power, but what's the point when it's just barely cheaper than the 3,600 kilowatt coal plant? Seems kind of pointless. Paid like 2 more grand and you get 10 times the power. If I can just come up here and get some coal for power, that will work out nicely. Then we're going to head into the mine here in a bit, and I'll show you. Found some copper and some other stuff by poking around in the walls. This is going to be slow going. And at the start, I'm going to show a lot of it on camera. Then we may start skipping over stuff, but this is hardcore. You only start with 100 grand. So let's say I bought the loader and it's like, we'll call it, 55 grand. So you got 45 grand left over. It's not really enough to get anything else going. You could probably buy I think you could have bought that. So a loader and that. And then you could just take it out of your inventory and sell it. That's another way to start, but I kind of like starting with the pickaxe. And turn our flashlight on. And I can see when I'm pickaxing stuff 10 feet away. All right, we got some coal. Let's throw that in there. thought you used to have to click this. Now it just pulls it in, I guess. All right. Into the mine. So at least when I was selling the other day, copper was worth a little more than iron. I started putting these little cones down. So one up here, I think I found, is it pay dirt? Or is it more coal? Yeah, this was just pay dirt. Pay dirt right behind the regular dirt. So yeah, if I started with my company money, that I forget how many millions I've got. I could have got a tunnel boring machine and just went completely to town, but that's, like I said, that's not how I wanted to start this series. Season 5 and 6, we used money we already had that we earned in Season 4. If you haven't seen any of those, all the playlists should be linked in the video description. You can go check those out. So Season 4 was kind of the last time I started over from scratch, if I recall correctly. Then Season 5 we went to the Arctic, and then Season 6 was the go big or go home. Just a short, I think it was 3-episode series with the big old baggers. Those are neat, but they're really boring. Doing solo ops, they're pretty boring. So here we got some copper ore. You can see I hollowed out a bunch. I think I got about 300 of each. That's what I went and sold. There's a lot of me just smacking the wall in your future. Not too bad though. 5 or 10 minutes, you can get a decent load here. Definitely want to buy the fast pickaxe as your first upgrade. So I think it was Season 3, I think, where I did that was the first hardcore, I think. And I started with literally nothing. No money and like a pickaxe. That was a lot of fun. But it builds up pretty quick. Once you get your loader and you can start processing, you know, bucket loads of stuff, it's easy to make money. All right, I'm gonna get to around 100 each of these. Well, do I even need to bother with iron? I might just go copper for now. It's worth so much more. I have a decent ways away from the... I thought maybe I could just tunnel out of here, but no such luck. So I'm going to go throw this in the smelter and get it running. I've only got one smelter right now. It does take a while to blow through this stuff. We'll get some of that smelting while I'm whacking on the wall down here. All right, we'll throw the pay dirt in there. Already threw the coal in there, so let's turn that on. That on. Run that out real quick. Yeah, I didn't turn it off. So I've got a little more stuff. All right, Smelteroonie is back in here, so let's, are you and you? I just crank that over to 9.99 and right click to craft away. And we'll get some gold going as well. Actually, let's cancel that. Oh yeah, you can pull from your own inventory now. I forgot about that. There we go. We'll do the little bits and then we'll start chewing into that copper. Back down into the mine we go. I had a comment, I think it was Brian Jensen was saying that the loaders were really bad. I don't know if they've patched it. I was watching Quad Thumb, like I said, and he was using the loader just fine, so I don't know. Maybe they patched it. I'm not sure. I can't afford a loader yet, so I haven't had a chance to try them out. It did look like they had changed the bucket physics, though, quite a bit. Where it's not so easy to get a massive overload on the bucket. You have to be a little more careful. And if you've seen any of my previous seasons, you know I used to overload the crap out of the loader bucket. So that'll be a little bit of a change in behavior. To get used to the new way. It'll take quite a while to burn through that 100 copper, so I'm going to go ahead and get maybe another 300 or 400. We got 100. It took like, what, maybe 2 minutes? Seems like forever when you're just sitting there watching it, but it really wasn't that long. I do kind of wish you had to like blast this material rather than just scooping it up with a loader. I assume you can still do that. It's fine you're using a pickaxe. That kind of makes sense. Just driving into it with a loader is a little strange. You see, there's a little thin seam of iron ore. It's like it's an iron ore vein with a nougaty copper lining. Here we go. We're already at 200 copper. We're rocking through this. Thanks, Fast Pickaxe. So what I'll probably do is I'm going to mine up a bunch of copper. And then it's going to take probably hours to process, so I'll put a cut in here. It may even be a completely different day. Most likely, well, it will be a different day because it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm headed out of town in the morning, so I'll put a break in there and I'll have this to smelt overnight probably. And we'll pick up where we actually have a little more cash. I think the small wash plant definitely is the next investment. That'll let us refine down some of the stuff. We'll just keep building out the plant a little bit. I don't know if we don't necessarily need the trauma right now because the way the things work is kind of cheaty. Like you can just throw everything in the sluice box and it's happy as far as I know. Actually, was there any dirt in there? The difference between the wash plant and the sluice box doesn't pass it on through. Actually, does it just delete the dirt? I wasn't even paying any attention. We did put a bunch of pay dirt in there. I will pay a little more attention when we go back up. We'll get ourselves a little more pay dirt. How are we looking here? Pretty good. Getting down this little hole here that I accidentally made. So we'll go ahead and get 500. Nice round number. I'll grab some pay dirt on the way back up. This is really super satisfying. I know, we hit 500. Alright, got 500. I think, yeah, that was coal. I was just doing a little prospecting. And you can kind of do that with the metal analyzer. It's like poke it in the hole. Poke it in the wall. Ooh, there's more copper ore back behind there. Interesting. Let's open that up. So, oh. I don't own the land up here. Oh, yeah, I got a little off. You are right, game. You are right. Well, what do we got on this side? Dirt. More dirt. And some more dirt. Ooh. Gold, dirt, copper ore down under there somewhere. All right, cool. I wonder if that's that same vein we're digging in. Well, I got some pay dirt over here. So you can't even dig if you don't own the land. It just flat out doesn't let you dig. Good to know. Grab ourselves a little bit of pay dirt. Oops. Wrong button. So I believe when you process the pay dirt, you end up with a little bit of dirt left over. I thought that's how it used to work anyway. I need to pay more attention. Do we actually get any dirt? I don't remember any dirt being in the sluice box. It's also possible it was just running out, but since it was underground, it was like deleting it or something. Terraforming locked. Does take a lot longer to save on this map, and I assume that's because of all the stuff on it, although I don't know why it'd be like tracking any of that. I don't know why, but it does take a lot longer to save. That's something I noticed. I don't know if that's the new beta or if that's just the new map thing. There we go. We got at least 100 pay dirt. Let's head back out and get things loaded up. And I'll try to pay a little more attention on the sluice box. Here we go. It is chewing into the copper, so we will kick that off. Even more copper. And we'll throw some iron on there at the end. Yeah, there's no dirt in here. I didn't notice anything change in there, so that's interesting. So if we throw the pay dirt in there, we consume it. Turn you on. We got green lights everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could be remembering wrong. Maybe the dirt. Maybe you don't get dirt from pay dirt. I could just be wrong there. All right, turn that off. A little bit more gold. Can throw that in there. Oink. All right, we got a little over 600 copper processing away. I'm going to put a cut in here, and I'll see you right after the break. All right, let me get you back up to speed here, folks. It's been a few days, so I apologize if I repeat myself. It's been a few days for me. Been a quick edit for you guys. Getting up some coal. As you can see, I've mined out a little bit of coal. Flashlight off. So, where are we? Yeah, so I got the small wash plant. I can get diamonds and rubies. I don't remember if I showed that or not. I did make a little bit of money, and I did some experimenting with different sell points. So you can see I made a bunch of steel. So you can take iron ore and make iron ingots, and then iron ingots and coal and make steel. So I made a steel beam, a steel rod, and a steel sheet. It looks like the best profit is with a steel sheet, although it's not a ton. It's like an extra $5 you make per iron ore, basically, if you turn that into steel and sell the steel sheet. And you actually lose money if you turn it into steel and just sell the steel. But if you make something out of the steel, you can make, I think, $1 more on these two and $5 on the steel sheet. So I turned all the iron ore into iron, and then I mined up a whole bunch of coal. I turned all that iron into steel. Then I'm working on turning the steel into steel sheets. I went and bought this roller, steel roller. It's about 15 grand. And speaking of costs, I had quite a few comments like, hey, you can buy equipment cheaper at the stores. And that's true for a lot of things. It's not true for the basic stuff that I bought. It's the same price. Just FYI. Look at the workbench. Steel roller, 15,210. Right from the general store. It's also 15,210 down in town. So some of this basic stuff is the same price. So check your prices. You might not always need to run to town. But anywho, I've got a bunch of those queued up. And I need, well, it looks like I got enough. So we can do 229 more. So each steel sheet takes a steel and a coal. So basically it takes an iron ore and 2 coal to make a steel sheet. I think, or is it 3 coal? I think is it 2 for steel? No, it's just 1. Alright. So I'm going to queue up a bunch more of those. I'm going to use up the rest of the steel. So let's click that. There we go. And I'm back down to 1 coal. I do have a little bit I stuck in there in the power plant. So I'm going to do a lot more digging. And I'll bring you back in when we're ready to go sell that stuff. And we'll see how much money we got. And we can maybe upgrade. We shall see. I know you can take out loans and stuff. That's not the point of this series. If I go to company. View company. Fedora Mining Limited, I've got $21 million. It's not about the money. It's about how I want to play this series. And I wanted to just start a new hardcore run for Series 7. So that's what we're doing. Slowly but surely we're getting there. And once we get a loader and we're able to start doing stuff in bulk, it kind of steamrolls from there. You can really start cranking in the money. So we're going to keep whaling away at this coal. I'm going to get some more coal so we have that for power and for making more steel as needed. And I'll see you all on the other side of the cut. Okay, it's been about an hour for me, and we got all the steel sheets. I sold some of them, but I got the rest of those processed through. I'm going to go ahead and sell those. And I went and checked prices while it was processing, and I can just sell from here. It's the same price. So we get 15 grand for that. A little bit of stuff for here. That puts us at 37,984. We're getting there. The cheapest loader is 58,305, so I need to get up to about 59,000. Then we can get a loader. So I'm going to work on that between episodes. And hopefully we can begin the next episode by buying a loader. And then we'll start using our basic plant here. Once we have the loader dumping stuff in, we should be able to get pretty quickly to where we can start building out the plant a little further. But this will get us going. We can at least separate out the stuff here in the sluice box. I do plan eventually to have, you know, a big full plant again. We'll probably end up selling the sluice box and get the wash plant. It's a little more automated. I'm also not sure. I may move the plants, say, over here along this shelf. Not too sure. I was digging down to clear this out, and there's coal here. I don't know if that's part of that big seam. Might be all one chunk. We shall see. But that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for hanging in there. I know this takes a lot of time, so I did make a YouTube post. I'm going to try to do these videos weekly. We'll see how it goes, because it does take a lot of time. I have a full-time career. Lots of busy stuff going on in the summer here with the family as well. So I have pretty limited game time. But what I can do is, you know, dig up a bunch of stuff, and then I can let it process while I'm doing other things. So that is that. And if I didn't mention it, I did paint the truck. I got the Fedora Mining Limited orange. If you were here for the previous seasons, you'll know that's our company colors, so that'll be the plan moving forward. But anyway, I'll be earning some money, and next week, hopefully we'll see you with a loader, and we can start digging in here, getting a bunch of coal and pay dirt, head down in the mine, get some ore, and we'll just be going to town and start building out our plant. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care.